Alright, so, this is b-hopping. I b-hop. This is not an overview, actually. I'm speaking as I'm b-hopping. B-hopping, for me individually, I've taught my team, a good majority of them, which is PHBA, which stands for Phantom Battalions, how to b-hop. Obviously, you know, I'm not the best, showing that I'm not going that fast. Of course, I'm going like a good amount of speed, but I'm not going that quick, which is why I'm able to teach them at all. But yeah, so pretty much the idea of b-hopping is it's a swerve. So I'll go into the exact motions in a second, but pretty much what b-hopping is the ability to never have to press W. Pretty much b-hopping is just space and A, D, and swerving of the mouse. What you do, I will show a example up here soon, so you know, if anybody in my future team or anybody wanting to, you know, look at this video in the future, for anybody wants to learn how to b-hop, obviously there's videos all over the internet how to b-hop, but the idea of b-hopping as a whole is there's just so much style and so much like aesthetic to b-hopping as it is. To be honest, like, there's a million ways you can b-hop. When people tell you this is how you b-hop, this is the way to do it, you won't go very quickly without doing this. Obviously, you know, that's not completely true. So b-hopping, at least for me, it shows potential for the game. You see, b-hopping in competitive, if I were to hold space, it doesn't work. You have to press space, and right now I'm pressing space. I'm doing it professionally, which means you're not holding down space, which if I go closer to it, you can hear it when I'm pressing the space bar. So b-hopping, it probably would be helpful, more helpful at least, if I were to go on a website or a server that were to have the ability for you to see what buttons I'm pressing. But fairly enough, b-hopping is, here, I'll try and go to another spot real quick where there's only one. Alright, so b-hopping, when I'm going forward, I press W. That's the beginning. So you start by pressing W. That gives you the momentum to start going forward. And then A and D are the buttons when you press something. As you see, when I press A, it turns. When I move my mouse, it moves my mouse. So when I press A and move my mouse this way, which is counterclockwise, A counterclockwise, D clockwise. When I do A and counterclockwise, it turns my whole entire screen and my body around. Instead of just going this way, or instead of just looking around, it instead curves my body as shown. So the idea of b-hopping is when you're curving this way, you're moving your mouse that way. So when you're pressing A, you move your mouse this way in the counterclockwise. When you're pressing D, you move clockwise. So as shown down here, if you wanted to go past here, obviously you can't press W and just hold space, because by doing this, obviously you see you're not gaining much speed. This is what a lot of people that are new to the b-hopping community do, and then, you know, you kind of struggle to turn around and do all this stuff, and you just fall off of them. Usually you'll find some people that just do this, or they'll try and move their mouses like this, but that doesn't do anything, because moving the mouse doesn't do anything. The idea of b-hopping is when you press A, you move your mouse that way, always. When you press D, you always move it this way, even the little flick. So if I want to little bit, like, you know, turn a little bit like that, I'm pressing AD, 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 AD. And after a while, you'll get used to pressing it like that. But that's how you do it. And while you're doing this, you hold space. And so pretty much, you're going in a curved pattern. So let's say if there's a pattern, you're going there to there to there, like that way, okay? You want to go from here to there. You don't want to jump like that. You want to instead jump like that, where you're curving around onto the block. By doing this, it not only gains momentum, but it also gains the ability to track where you want to be. As shown by many professionals, including Forrest himself, 90% of professionals use the ability to curve. And by 90%, I mean there are some people that actually legitimately use W, but those are people that have either A, mastered the skill of already turning, or B, those are the people that just don't know how to turn yet, which is a good majority of the community, which is why people struggle. So as you see, when I'm pressing A, I turn that way. When I'm pressing D, I turn this way. So A, D, A, D, A, D. Now you can't really see what's going on since it's dark, but you can see the cursor or the middle part, which explains that segment. So pretty much, I'll try and bring something up real quick to give an example. Let's hear. What's a good program I should use? Alright, this should be monitor 1. Alright, should be good. It is good. Alright, cool. So, it is lagging a little bit, I believe. Yeah, it is lagging quite a bit, actually. Now it froze. But we're just going to be in this corner anyway. We don't really need that. We're going to go ahead and bring out this paint tool. Okay? So I'm going to show you the idea, the premise. So, obviously, you know, with the beginner, there's one square you're supposed to land on. There's usually another square over here. And maybe there's another one over here, per se. Okay? So, with this idea, and it's a little bit off for you guys, so I'm going to try and bring that up there. There we go. What you want to do, and I'm going to put this in a different color, you want to go from here, instead of jumping here, because you'll usually land in the water here, you want to go boom, to boom, to boom. You see how curved that is? How curved it is? Most people, when they first start, like I said originally, will try and do something along the lines of this, which is fine, but this causes one thing. It causes a loss of momentum. And where, you might ask? Right there. When you're turning like this, it causes you to not only lose momentum, but it causes you to not gain mobility, as shown by this one over here, which is actually exactly what we just had. I'm gonna go to the other side so it's flipped around like we had it. But pretty much, if you go flat and you immediately curve, you can still do it, but look at my speed, okay? Not that time, this time. So look at my speed, okay? You're going flat, you turn suddenly. You lost about 10 speed, which is fine. You made it past, you got successful, but in the long run where you're doing stuff like that, it's going to be hard. So what you want to do is instead you want to land from there to there to there. So you go boom, 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 boom. And as you saw there, I landed a good amount of time, actually. About like 400, 410, probably my maximum. So you want to go from here, curve, curve, curve. Everything is curving in this game. You want it to be very smooth, very sleek. And not this game, actually. This game mode, may I say. So pretty much, like I said, you do that stuff. But after a while, you start to get the feel of how to do it. And then you understand skips, which are when, you know, you don't follow the rules. You skip blocks that are set there for you to use. Like I'm doing now, I'm skipping so many blocks, it's helpful. And, you know, obviously once you start, you're going to want to... Oh my god, the frame rate is ass for the camera. I'm just going to stop up here. Right here should be good. Yeah. So, I'll go ahead and bring up paint again. Alright, so, premise. Again, just this is an overview or recap. This is the block. This is the second block. This is the third block. Okay? You are, for this one, this one's a little bit different than the one where it's going like that. Okay? Because this one, you're not supposed to do that. Instead, you're supposed to do a process called the S, which obviously you probably know what that is. Obviously, you know what an S is since probably kindergarten. The S is where you go from here, you land here, to here to there. You never, ever, ever, if you want to get to B-hopping, you never do this. This, where you land and cause an intersection on the block on these points, will always, always cause you to fall off sooner or later. The only way I can explain this is by trying to show you. So if I'm doing this, you don't have much curving ability. Obviously, I can still do it, but I mean, it's hard. It's not easy because you're going straight, and sooner or later, once you get higher into the like ability, like when it does this, when it's curving like this, it's going to be impossible to do that stuff. Or like this, where the jump sizes are different. That's why you keep falling through those little cracks and crevices. It's because they know that people that are doing this process don't know how to change. So you never do this. Instead, you do the simple process where you go like the S, which is where you're landing about there, you're landing there, and you're landing there. Obviously, this one is, you know, you're not supposed to land on the very bottom, but, you know, it's just a rough representation of what it's supposed to be. So, and once you get enough speed, let's say you have a maximum of 340, okay? Let's say you have 340 speed. So, you have 340 speed. Most likely at the point of this amount of speed, as long as these jumps in between are fairly small, then you can start to do this thing where you skip blocks. So this is obviously pretty simplistic, but I'm just going to the basics, okay? Because this is for people that don't understand pretty much anything about B-hopping at the moment. This is for people that still need to learn. So you go here to there. Now, obviously, you know, you might be... I already showed you how to do it, so that's pretty much how you do it. Now, 340 isn't the exact speed. Obviously, there's other speeds. You can do it at 220. You can do it at... I mean, the walking speed is like... What is it? If you're walking, it's about 250, 260. So, yeah, maybe not 220. You should be able to do it at about 320, I think. Yeah, that was 330. So about 320, 330, or 340, you should be able to make those jumps like that. Obviously, if I didn't have so many applications open, it wouldn't be lagging so much, which would probably be a smarter idea. But the basis is as I've shown. Without doing that curved process, and if we look at some people, obviously, you know, it's probably going to be lagging, but it's best if we look at people that know what they're doing. Like this guy, this is a perfect example of what not to do. You see, what he's doing here is he's doing that straight process, which is causing him to go in between. Now, this is good, but once he gets to a problem like this, he doesn't know what to do, because he can't curve, he doesn't learn, he doesn't process the idea of curving. So it stops him, it blocks him from moving forward, and, you know, obviously, after a couple tries, he'll get it sooner or later, but it takes time, it takes effort, it makes him learn, which is helpful, of course, but, I mean, you need to learn curving. Curving is the basis of this game. Without it, you won't learn anything. That's just how it is. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. You need to learn curving, you need to learn jumping. Jumping itself in competitive matches is much different because there's a rule where, like, 400 speed or 380 is the max, something like that. So if you go too fast, like, about this speed of what he's doing is the maximum for competitive matches, so you're not, like, flying past everyone. So don't get too excited about that, but the idea is, as I've shown, so thank you for watching. That's pretty much all I have to show you. So enjoy B-hopping, keep practicing, and if you need to, come back to the video to reinsure yourself on specific topics or specific areas of the B-hop that you haven't understood, or just comment on it, or if you're on my team, just speak with me directly. So thank you guys, and I will see you later.